What's going on, YouTube? We back with another quick breakdown. And in this clip, we got the legendary Corey Holcomb and the 5150 crew. And Corey is back at it with Steve Harvey and Shannon Sharpe, talking about that interview that was on Shannon's show, Club Shay Shay. And Corey had a question in terms of when did Steve Harvey become this advice guru? And when you think about it, I think that started to happen around the time when he had a bestseller book. And I think that in entertainment, in order to prolong your career, you have to have other avenues in order to make money. And I think that was another lane that Steve found. But in this clip, Corey is hilarious. It's all jokes. And he's a comedian, of course. And, he's funny with it. And he's talking about, how Steve is not funny and saying, how can you be a relationship guru when your wife has a checkered past? Now, this is what Corey is saying. So let's take a listen to the clip. I'll add some more commentary towards the end and add a little value to it. Let's listen to what Corey has to say.
Steve Harvey was on that motherfucking interview, dog, and they've been showing it a little bit.
I told you it was good. I liked it.
That shit was weak as a motherfucker.
What?
I
like that interview.
How is this motherfucker allowed to
man.
give advice?
Man.
This is a goofy. He married
All
a
the side
bitch
bitches.
that hustle money. Everybody know it. First of all, you've been married how many times?
Three
times.
He cheated on his wife with his side bitch each time.
Everybody married a bitch that they was fucking around on the other bitch. I said that before.
Yeah.
That's what people do. We don't know how to pick no woman. But Steve Harvey comes like he got the answers to shit. Homie, you even admitted you was mad at Bernie them because they was funnier than you. It's just what I said. D said she liked the interview.
No, I like the interview, how it went. Like, I like the whole chemistry between him and Shannon. I like Shannon's show. It's a good show. So
I like Shannon
just said,
Sharpe too.
I kept saying it was a good interview.
He was caking for that nigga. Like, if I was on there and I had been married 3 times, the whole world would love to be like, motherfucker, you been married 3 times. I don't never hear nobody say this about this man because they be caking for him.
Yeah. Shannon do his show with a butt plug in, man. He's so
Right. I believe that.
Oh, my Lord.
Shannon is.
Everybody else be getting high or the drink champs or whatever. Shannon got a butt plug.
He be
in.
orgasming.
That's how he relax.
That nigga orgasm.
That nigga be nutting while he talking to you.
Without
got a nice
flinching.
So let me ask you this.
He got a nice build, but he's loud. He's loud.
Yeah, man.
D say he got a nice build.
He
Yeah,
does.
Shannon.
I like how he be wearing them nice.
That's what D
Shannon
choose
got a
niggas
BBL,
off of.
nigga.
I did not. I just
Shannon
can't. I
He
can't
say he
give
got a
it.
BBL.
I
He
can't
went to
give
the
a
Dominican
compliment.
Republic and got his shit done. He the type of nigga get his calves done too, man.
I don't know his
Shannon
age, but I
is
hear that he's
soft.
older,
He's the
and if
softest,
so, he
dark-skinned
looks
nigga in the
good.
world.
His
Huh?
I just think he looks.
Shannon will tell you this. I don't want no fish, bitch.
Let's be clear and let's put some respect on Shannon Sharpe's name. Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Fame 2-time Super Bowl champion who played tight end for the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. Shannon is a legend. Now, he may have some questionable takes on his show with Skip Bayless, but in the beginning, Shannon was strong. And he was saying some very positive things about the black community. Seems like things have changed just a little bit. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled program.
Stupid. Whatever.
Get that old fish away from me.
Shannon sleep with cucumbers over
Gosh
his
darn
eyes.
it, Corey.
Man.
Sound just like
Old boy Ocho Cinco was on the show. He was asking him, so you ain't married, right? And he was asking him a lot of questions about manhood, and Shannon couldn't really do nothing with that. But I peeped it. I was like, Ocho Cinco putting him out there.
Yeah. You seen that part where he was like, no? Oh, yeah, this nigga.
What, he sucked his teeth? He did not.
How you do it again?
Yeah. No. Shannon coming out, nigga.
But I'm saying like Steve perpetrates a real nigga. But
Right.
Steve, you're not a real nigga.
See?
If you
Who
are
said that?
around an alpha,
They said he does have
you're
nice
going to start some shit. I'm talking about Steve Harvey.
Right.
Steve is like
He
Russell.
can only be in the room with betas. If you're around alphas, you're going to have a problem. I know that about Steve Harvey. You can't stand in no room with no motherfucking nigga that, I ain't saying a nigga that starts shit, but a nigga who will stand on his and you can't really boss around and all that shit. In fact, it's a lot of niggas like that who cannot be around alphas because they can't take the fact that they can't run it with this nigga.
Right.
That was happening with the Kings of Comedy. Said the Entertainer and motherfucking Bernie Mac was funny. And then you had to go up after them. And you couldn't manipulate it like you wanted to. So you became the host of the Kings of Comedy. Because like I said, the host is the famous person most of the time. They rarely let the host host. Last time I hosted a show, Earthquake told the promoter, let the other nigga bring me up because I know why. Nigga, I'm rocking this motherfucker, nigga. And then you got to go up after that? Nigga, stop.
Hammer time.
I heard too much fuck shit about Steve from other comics.
Steve a hater, dog. He is not finna let you shine, dog. When I was a young comic, that nigga cutting my time down to 5 minutes because I was too funny.
Wow.
He did JJ bad.
What'd he do to JJ?
He damn near said, JJ damn said he like blackballed him a little bit. Like he was telling motherfuckers not to fuck with him or some shit like that.
I believe you. I ain't never heard nothing good about no motherfucking Steve Harvey. So
Look, JJ.
I'm saying like, I ain't knocking, I ain't trying to shit on him. I'm just telling you, you got shit on your name, nigga. And I've had experiences with you, and I already know. Nigga, if you was around me, you would be uncomfortable because I'm not going to fold in front of you. And if I go on stage, it's going to be hard for you to follow with that motherfucking shit you do. So you got to keep hosting and getting these little shows like whatever you do, because he does the type of shit where he's being sarcastic about something. That's what works for him. Yeah. Like if he be like, oh, that dude over there, he can do that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it don't match up with headliners who got power.
We have to take something into consideration. Corey is speaking from a place of experience. He's been in the rooms with these people. He's had negative experiences with Steve Harvey before. Now, if you're a young comic and an experienced comic cuts your time down to 5 minutes, you're gonna remember that experience. And allegedly, this is not the only person who Steve Harvey has done this to. Now, we also need to take into consideration, Steve Harvey came from nothing and became very successful in entertainment. To be clear, this is not an excuse for Steve Harvey's behavior or his alleged behavior. But what I will do is acknowledge that he's been very successful in entertainment. And a very small percentage of people are able to make it in that industry. Now, he's found himself many lanes where he's been able to have longevity in this industry. Not only do you have to acknowledge that, you have to admire that. Now, everything about his stand-up is not perfect. He's not one of the greatest stand-up comics. He's had his moments. When you're in rooms with legendary comics like Bernie Mac and Cedric the Entertainer, you have to position yourself properly so that you can fit perfectly within that puzzle. It's just like when you make an album. You just can't play songs anywhere. You have to position them correctly so that you have a complete mood of the album, so that the album makes sense. And that's what they did in the Kings of Comedy. They positioned the comedians properly so that they can have the best results. And that's what they got. So that's what we have to acknowledge and understand when it comes to the Kings of Comedy and Steve Harvey's position within it. Now, what Corey is saying about some of the personal things that he experienced with Steve Harvey, that's different. He's been in these circles. He's had personal experiences with these people. And in most circumstances, when you have an insider view like that, you have an understanding that most people who weren't in that same experience have. So you have to respect Corey for his personal experiences, but we also must acknowledge Steve Harvey's brilliance and his ability to navigate the entertainment industry and become successful and build generational wealth for he and his family. And like we always say, Let's change the narrative and refocus the optics. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one.